Vete discipuli mihi nomen est Magister Ueno. Nunc videtis pelliculam qua dico vobis. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going to make you watch a whole video in Latin just because this is AP. So, welcome to the video wherein I explain the requirements and details of the AP Latin summer assignment. I promise you it's not going to be an incredible amount of effort, but it will be something that pays lots of dividends throughout the entire coming school year. First thing is first. The due date will be following the second weekend after summer vacation. Okay, so you guys will return, and then after the first few days, there will be the weekend. And then after that, you have the full first week of the semester, and then that's the second weekend. The Monday after that will be the due date. All right, I don't remember exactly which day that is, but you guys will be able to figure that out. You're smart. So here's the assignment. Since the AP course centers around two main texts, namely Virgil's Aeneid and the Gallic Wars by Julius Caesar, your job this summer is to familiarize yourself with the contents of each. To this end, please read both works in their entirety. Do so in English, make it easy on you, okay? As the better you know the contents of these two works, the easier it is going to be for you to decode it in Latin, okay? I don't care what format you read this in, okay? You can find PDFs online easily, and you may use any translation. You can use an audio format. You can do a YouTube adaptation. I don't really care. What I most want from you is that you know deeply and are intimately acquainted with the contents of both works. Having done so, I would like you to produce two things for each work. First, I want a hefty summary from you, okay? Now, I just did some research. It should take most people about 3 hours total to read through all of Virgil's Aeneid. The average reader can do it in about 3 hours. As for Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars, it would be about half the amount of time, since it's about half of the length. So, please summarize each one. I don't care how many pages it takes you. There will be no lower or upper limit. Just summarize as much as you need to. All I need is to see that you guys have done put forth a proper effort to summarize these works. Okay? Finally, I would like you to analyze the value of each work. So write me an essay wherein you analyze the value of the work. What do I mean by value? You realize these are two texts that have survived over 2,000 years of Western history. Okay, so let that sink in for a moment. Now, none of us would probably choose to read it on our own. It would be a really unusual person who goes out of their way to check out these books in the library or buy them on Amazon and try to actually read them for themselves. Let's face it, well over 99% of the human population will not do so. Certainly not of their own accord. So, I want you to discuss whether it's worthwhile. Right? Analyze the value means say whether or not it's worthwhile. Was it worth reading? Was it worth keeping? Is it valuable for us to continue preserving? You may be critical about the texts. Just be very honest with me about your own thoughts about whether or not it's worthwhile. Obviously, since you have to take a stance on this, you need to also support yourself. Use logic, cite the text. You may even cite other authors or other scholars who have debated for or against the value of each one. So, again, there's no upper or lower page limit as long as you show me that you have done your best, your very, very best. Okay? I realize that keeping it vague like that might make some of you anxious. So to give you an idea of a ballpark of what I'm looking for, again, it doesn't have to be as long as you do so effectively and much less. I would imagine that bullet pointed, if you're doing double spaced for the summary, I would imagine that somewhere in the ballpark of 6 to 8 pages double spaced, if it's bullet points, just bullet points of summaries, would be a pretty good minimum requirement. But again, feel free to do more. There's a lot of detail in each one, okay? And feel free to do less. If you're able to be more succinct and do so effectively, that's actually a virtue. So feel free to do so. All right. As for the analysis, giving an argument for or against the value, whether or not these works are worthwhile, I would imagine could be done in about 4 to 5 pages double spaced. But again, if you're capable of doing it in fewer words or more pages, then do so. You have the freedom. I only give these page numbers as a rough estimate of what I'm, expecting is a pretty normal or average amount. If you are able to do your best and show me what your best is by doing more or less than that, then that's perfectly fine. Okay? I am not only looking for the quality of the content, I'm also actually going to be looking for what best means to you. All right, so you're going to implicitly communicate that through your work. All right,